this is a show that goes there where like life is in danger and we lose our loved ones like right out of the gate in the pilot. You know, Keiko's gone. She's eaten by bugs, which is a way nobody wants to go.
So there is kind of a love triangle brewing in episode 6 of the show. Uh, how is it to kind of play that? Was that part of Randa's snarkiness in that episode or towards Shaw in general?
I think it organically unfurls, right? Like, I don't think either of them are actively trying to impress Mari. You know, it's not like, I don't know, like the first movie that pops in my mind is like Swiss Family Robinson with those two brothers that are like trying to show off for the stowaway that they discover is a woman. I think they're just there to do the work, but then they start trying to be right, you know, and I think that like their egos are kind of colliding. And I think being wrong in front of a woman in the 50s is like a blow to their egos. But there's a respect too. And I think that, you know, when Bill sees Keiko and Lee's relationship starting to kind of spark, he's like, oh, okay, well, sure, great. I'm focused on the work. And then as things kind of start to swerve back the other way, I think Billy and Keiko really bond on the work and maybe less with each other, but on their shared passion. And I think that that's what they build their relationship on is their shared passion for the unknown and what's possible.
Is there a part of his personality that you think would make Dr. Mira, eventually want to marry him over Shaw?
Yeah, I think it's his desire to find the truth. You know, he's a searcher. She's a searcher. She doesn't want to just kind of be like Lee in some ways, who is not looking for more answers because more answers might lead to more problems. He's like, this is the way it is. I'm fine. I don't need any more. Like, let's just work with the cards we've been dealt. Where I'm like, what if we don't even have cards? You know, like it's the way this show's written, like, besides the fact that there's giant monsters,
Yeah.
as things start to unfold, you realize there's a lot of things that are possible. And if those are possible, you're like, well, what else is possible? You know, what they bend science in ways that we just can't imagine. So, you know, who knows?
When we spoke, a long time ago, when Mari was saying that Wyatt suggested that Bill should say something in a scene, and I was wondering, it's so fun to watch the three of you together. How loose is that dynamic when you're, as actors working on the scene together?
I think it depends on the scene. You know, if there's like a light scene that's got some comedy to it, or at least like a comedic moment, you know, I think there's a moment where we've laid all this dynamite around this like nuclear plant. And I'm talking about how much dynamite we need, and I don't think we use enough, and the way that we set it. And she's like, no, you're wrong. And then Lee's just like, boop, and like blows it. And I'm like, what? You know, so it's like he gets comedy there, I get comedy other places. And just as soon as it gets too serious for its own good, you know, somebody jumps in with a little levity. But then, of course, like, this is a show that goes there where like life is in danger and we lose our loved ones like right out of the gate in the pilot. You know, Keiko's gone. She's eaten by bugs, which is a way nobody wants to go.
How much? I don't even know what you would be able to say, but how much do you know about Bill Randa's life between the events of this show and, John Goodman and Skull Island?
Nothing. I know nothing. There's no like, hey, so this, imagine that, this, that, and the other. I just know that the events that have unfolded in season 1 and that will unfold moving forward, if we do get to do that, they've like destroyed this guy and really left him kind of a little bonkers.
There's this very emotional scene in episode 3 when Keiko thinks Godzilla is dead. Uh, what can you describe like Bill Randa's thought process about how he feels about Titans by the time he discovers that Godzilla's alive in episode 6?
It's funny. It's like you have to balance this. You're looking at nothing, by the way. You're just looking at the water, right? And they're like, and he's there. He's, and you're like, how far away? Like way away, or like there? And they're like, he's pretty far away. So you go, okay, because you got to know, is he like 100 feet or 2,000 feet? Because if he's 100 feet, you're a little scared. If he's 2,000 feet away, you're like, all right, he probably can't see me. So there's a little bit of like fear, but excitement, joy, like the work gets to continue. And then you're also like, how is he alive? Right? Like as a scientist, I'm like, didn't they nuke this guy? How is he still alive? There's so much to learn. There's so much more to search and chase and find out.
I'm surprised. I would have thought you'd be looking at like a drone or something, like something for eyeline. That's
No.
good job.
Apple TV Plus, they went cheap on it.
Where do you think Bill Randa's goals with Monarch differ from Keiko's or these, if they do?
I would say, before he found the Lawton, the ship that he was on that went missing and took his crew with him, I would say before that, he had nothing, right? He was on his own, seemed crazy to everyone, but knew this had happened and was, traveling the globe, taking stories from cultures here and cultures there and going, these are the same. Like, is there any sort of pattern happening? And then when he finally finds the SS Lawton and there's a monster on it, he's like, I told you, I'm not alone. I've got these two people in my life now. So I think that before he was kind of like not hopeful, he was just kind of like lost and desperate. And I think now that he's kind of been vindicated and he's got two people like with him, I think he's filled with like, not joy, but kind of like ambition and what's next. And like, I did this, what can we do? Like the power, like our powers combined, like we could do anything.
Do you have a favorite moment as I was gonna say as a viewer, but maybe as an actor or a viewer from the first 6 episodes?
I just liked that Hawaiian shirt that I had on in the one episode.
Yeah, it's good.
I thought that was pretty dang good. It's a good shirt.
Do you still have it?
Nah, man.
Wow.
It's gone. Maybe we'll auction it off or something. I don't know. Wardrobe's got it. The wardrobe on this show was so much fun. And then when I got to put like a thing of rope on my shoulders, I just felt like Indiana Jones. I was like, dude, you're basically Indiana Jones. You're young John Goodman as Indiana Jones. Like, what's not to love?
It's a good role to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.